Everyone is always asking me, how far will my dollar go in Northern Baltimore County? I'm going to show you today what about $750,000 will get you in Northern Baltimore County, right by Four Corners, Jacksonville. Let's go. Everyone's always trying to find the home in Northern Baltimore County. It's extremely hard to get a home that really suits your needs and your family's needs up here. However, if you're doing the right things, you're going to find it. And the key is the off-market properties. And today we're at one of my favorite off-market properties here right by Jacksonville in Moncton. And this is a 4-bed, 2.5 bath, finished basement, 2-car garage on an acre property. Owners just moved out, so it's completely vacant. However, it is not on the market and probably will never see the light of the market. But today I'm going to show you a sneak peek of just how awesome this home is. And the key feature that really probably sets it apart is that it has a first floor primary bedroom. Let's take a look. What makes this home so cool is that it is a craftsman-style home. You really don't see these that much up here in Northern Baltimore County unless they're a new build. So what's really cool about this house is that it was a really old house and they tore it down basically to the foundation and rebuilt it from the ground up. So if you're looking for a near new home that's a bit different, that has features that some of these older homes don't have, then this is the one. Okay, as you can see, we have a 2-car garage here. We have a nice covered porch, and we have this basically an expansion of how the old house was. They never had this entire front side. It was basically only 2 bedrooms before. So adding this on and making this home a much larger home to be able to suit a family, this is what people are after here in Northern Baltimore County, and just another reason why it's so hard to find them when you're searching up here in the county. As always, we are going to go through the home. I'm going to show you what exactly I like, what might be particular for you and your family situation, and also going to point out some of the things that might be of inconvenience to you or you may not like. So, as always, let's go through the home just as if you were touring with me here right next to me today. All right. You guys, right there, you're here with me right here in this house. Let's go through it, head to toe, nuts to bolts, to see what this thing's all about. We're starting off here as we walk in the front door. We're here in the main living area, and then we are going to disperse over to the kitchen, and then I'll show you the primary. The primary is incredible, and it's incredible for a couple reasons in particular. Let's take a look here at this main living area. So, as you can see, very well done, huge. The vaulted ceilings, almost like a cathedral type look, makes this space feel absolutely huge. So if you're interested in an open concept floor plan, if you're into having everybody be able to mingle and see each other all at once, then this is a situation that you would want to be in. Because as you can see there, that's where the kitchen comes in, the stairs, as well as that's where the primary is located. To me, if you're anything like myself, I have 3 kids. I have 3 young kids, and space and being able to spread out is such a big deal in our home. And for me and friends of mine that have similar situations, and then the former clients that I've had with young kids or growing families, they say the same exact thing. So if you're anything like that, or you just, you like a lot of space, you like to spread out, you have maybe oversized furniture that is, takes up a lot of space, maybe a nice sectional, maybe a U-shaped one, those are actually really cool. You're gonna love this because you have the ability to have the TV right above the mantle, super nice, super convenient, gives you the ability to put all kinds of chairs and sofas and a huge rug, anything like that so that you can spread out. My former clients here, they had basically a U-shaped couch. They had some toys over there for the kids in the back area. Their playroom is really downstairs, but if they're up here, they had a lot of toys over there. And then this allowed the mother to be able to see all the kids playing right from the kitchen as she's, making snacks lunches, meals, etc. I want to give you a bird's eye view so just you can see just how large this space is and how big it really does feel. So when people see that we have a first floor primary, their first instinct is to think, well, is that where the only bathroom is located, on the main level? Well, the good news is that is not the case here. And I can't stress enough how terrible that situation is. Like, you don't want guests going into your primary bathroom over and over. So we do have a half bath here, right set off the kitchen. Super convenient. Over top everybody in the living space. Makes it very functional, very free flowing as well. I'm standing right here in the dining area. So this is kind of where you would put a dining table. You don't have to put it, horizontally like that as the island is. You can put it vertically so that, depending on how large of a family you have, that might be an option for you and, kind of maneuver the space as necessary. My favorite portion is this kitchen, if you're not including that living space. I mean, that's incredible. But everything is, really that farmhouse style feel that, you've pretty much come accustomed to over and over again, especially if you're an HGTV watcher. That has kind of been ingrained in our brains at this point, but this is really, really well done. It's not over the top. It's very functional, which is probably the biggest key when actually searching for a home. Does the space function appropriately for my family? Does it work for what we do on the day-to-day? Or is it going to make my day-to-day even better? Okay? So one unique feature here is that you see this wood, that wood, and this wood beam. That's from the original house. So that's real solid wood, super cool. Gives that, a little bit of charm, a little bit of character. Because, you see all these new builds today, whether it be on TV or maybe some other states or other parts of Maryland, you don't really have that much character in the homes. They're very vanilla and cut and dry, whereas this is giving you some character. Another thing that I really like are these bay windows. So anytime you have, well, they're not really bay windows, but these windows here allow a ton of light into the backyard. So if you are a family, maybe you're looking to have kids or you already have kids, and we have about an acre here, gives you the ability to have the kids outside, whatever they want to do, you have the direct access to be able to see them. So if you're not on the deck, and you're here cooking in the kitchen, maybe on a summer day, then this is a perfect space to do that. We talked about some of this wood, right? This is some of the original wood from the old house that has been repurposed and given new life and functionality. And again, giving character to the house. There's a lot of counter space. You have a nice range here, nice backsplash. It's all good. One thing that you may be wondering, well, is this enough counter space? Well, it may not be for you. However, it does give you the ability to put maybe another wet bar or extend your cabinetry over on that side as opposed to just using the space that's provided. And then we have the pantry. So this is probably my least favorite portion of this house, and it's only because I am such a sucker for a huge pantry. But the downside here is that it's not the biggest pantry, so if you do want to add some more things, you would probably want to do it as you start the countertops over here, maybe a nice mobile cabinet that you can either put there or put in a different place. But that would be my only downside on the kitchen, is really the size of the pantry. Are you still interested in a farmhouse type feel? Or is that something that you've kind of maybe outgrown or lost taste for? Let me know in the comments whether you still like the farmhouse type feel or you're completely done with it. You want something completely different. That way I know I can show you better videos that suit your needs a little bit better. And then we have our bathroom. This is our half bath that I spoke about, which, hey, this makes it extremely convenient. It's all nice. We have some shiplap here on the wall, more of that farmhouse type feel. And everything is, done in symmetry, of course, with all the white being congruent and so forth. And then we have our deck. The deck is actually pretty large. If you're looking at it from the front door, it looks like it might be a little bit smaller, but it extends here almost all the way to those 3 windows that we mentioned before. So gives you plenty of space to either have a grill, and then have seating on the other side. So, and tons of space to move around. So if you're interested in outdoor activity, whether it be grilling, having some people over, or just having fun outside, this is going to be the one for you. Are you more of a deck person or a patio person? Me personally, it depends on the leveling. I just put a patio in, but let me know in the comments, are you a deck person or a patio person? Now we're going to go into that primary. I'm going to show you why I love it so much. All right, we are here in the primary, and it's a fairly large space. It's a fairly large space. So as you can see, look, I mean, look how big this is. So if you have a partner, a spouse, king size fits perfectly. So you can spread out, have tables, nightstands, however, whatever you call them. Those can actually fit there. And look, you may be thinking, hey, I just saw a closet, right? You did. This is one of my favorite features of it. And it is a walk-in closet with a nice reclaimed wood barn door, right? Gives you the ability to walk in. So I'm in here, we're in the closet. I can't touch either wall, that's a little bit big. All right, so if that's something that you want to do, this is a really good spot for it. But you may be like, hey, I need another closet. My spouse needs one closet, I need another. Well, the good news is there's one right here. So you have another closet here. Full racks, the whole gamut. Pretty nice. That's what my friends did. That was her closet, this was his closet. The good news is this is the master bath. You may be thinking, well, what's the size of it? This is, it really didn't look that big on the outside. Well, I can tell you, this home is pretty deep. So let's check out this master bath. Really gorgeous, reclaimed wood again, giving it that character that you want to see. Huge mirrors, there's even a window right between so you get some natural sunlight. And then, not to be forgotten, is the beautiful tile, the shower. So nice subway tile with a very nice textured tile on the floor. One of the best features of this shower is that the tiles go all the way to the ceiling. So a lot of times you'll see how tiles stop. Well, this goes all the way to the ceiling. So it keeps the shower nice and clean and reduces, all of that mildew that can build up on the walls that are left exposed.
Thinking about relocating to Baltimore? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it all down below.
From top employers to best hospitals and a boatload of other things, all the stuff you'll need to know before making the move to in and around Baltimore. The best part, this guide is entirely free. Just click the link in the description at the top pinned comment. Hope this helps. This bathroom is just awesome. I mean, it's big enough for two people to have enough space for all their stuff to be able to spread out, and then it has a ton of storage, which if you're a family, you got to keep a lot of stuff because you can't keep it all in the kids' bathrooms, right? You got to have a lot here stored, so when you need it, the medicine, the Band-Aids, etc., all has the ability to stay stored nice and neat here with plenty of room to spare. Now, we've seen the primary. Let's go check out the upstairs, and then after that, I'll show you the finished basement. One of the unique ways that this home saves in space is they have the angled staircase, so that the staircase is not just as you walk in, it gives us some character, and it's all natural wood as well. So it makes it really nice and saves space. Now we're here in the first bedroom. To the left, as you walk up the stairs, this is the back bedroom, okay? So this is above the kitchen, essentially. This is a huge room for a kid, right? Huge, absolutely huge. You can do a ton in this room. Lots of natural light. You've got worried about your kids and, being in too dark of a space, maybe sleeping in a little too long. But, the vitamin D does the body good. So we got sunlight here, and we do have sunlight coming in on that smaller window right there on the back side. If your child is, maybe in that teenage area and they're starting to collect maybe a lot of shoes or a lot of clothes, that whole phase that we all go through, you have two really big closets here on both sides. That basically it's the entire side of the wall here. So there's plenty of space there for you to, or for your kid potentially to have, enough space for all their shoes and games and so forth. Now let's check out the other 2 bedrooms. They're a little bit smaller, but you're going to be pleasantly surprised how big they are, especially for secondary bedrooms. Okay, this was probably the smallest bedroom. This is the one that's between the end-to-end bedroom. So you have one on the front side, one on the back side, and this one's right in the middle, right across the hall from the bathroom. Nice big windows, nice shiplap accent wall. This was a nursery for their smallest child most recently. And then it has a single door closet here. So most likely you would use this for your youngest child, and or, hey, it could be an office as well if you don't decide to use that basement space as an office at all. This is a good spot for that. You will notice that the rooms up here do have carpet. That's something that they chose for their family because all their kids are young and that's kind of what they wanted. That way they can not have rugs and they can play around on the floor. I don't know if that's for you or not, but the luxury vinyl flooring that they have running throughout the home is easily accessible. There's a ton here, so if you wanted to replace it, replace this carpet with and have that vinyl flowing all through the home, you have the ability to do so. If you're somebody that likes carpet, be sure to put carpet in the comments, or if you are somebody that likes either hardwood or luxury vinyl, type in wood in the comments so I know to show you a little bit more in one of those areas. All right, and then this is the 3rd and final bedroom, okay? This is probably the best one, and that's for one reason. It's because it has a walk-in closet. So if you want to spoil your child a little bit, give them some of that luxury living, you actually have a small walk-in closet here. It's not the biggest, it's not as big as downstairs by any means, but it does, I mean, it's a walk-in closet. So they can go to school and tell all their friends, I got a walk-in closet, right? That's pretty cool. But again, just as we have in the backside, we have 2 windows and a smaller window. So lots of vitamin D flowing in through the room for all the good vibes that come along with all that sunlight. Now, we have 3 bedrooms up here, right? Let's check out the bathroom. Can it even handle maybe 3 kids? Let's find out. The good news is it can. We got a nice tile floor. We got a nice subway tile shower, bath combo. So as they are younger, you're still going to be able to give that bath and bath time. I know that's my life. If you're in that mode right now, type in bath time in the comments because the struggle is real at bedtime. It's one of those things that you're just not prepared for in life. But what I like about this is the use of space, right? So we have a slanted ceiling here, right? But still plenty of room with the subway tile. Full size, it's a full size shower. The tub is full size. It's good to go. So if you have 1, 2, or 3 kids, you're still going to be able to give a solid bath time situation if that's, you know, you're in that point of life. Now, we've seen the bathrooms. We've seen the bedrooms. Let's go downstairs all the way to the basement so I can show you how awesome the basement can actually be if it's done right.
Hey guys, it's Kelly. I'm here with Mike as well. And as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love even more, and that's helping families and people from all across the country make a move here to Baltimore. I moved here about 20 years ago and I've never looked back. I love helping countless families make the move as well. So whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen, and I've linked the description in case you missed the on-screen pop-up. Look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Baltimore.
Okay, we're here in the basement. Basement is a man's dream, right? This is where we all desire to have a man cave. However, then life comes at you real fast and you realize, I need some space for my kids to play so that the toys aren't all over the place, right? Well, this place gives you the ability to do that. So after 15 years, 16 years, 17 years, 18 years, depending on your family situation, then you can have your man cave. But until then, you can have a nice oversized playroom. So this thing is huge. It's basically just like the living room upstairs, the same size. Just doesn't have the huge cathedral ceiling, but plenty of room to spread out, right? You can have a nice TV over here. Maybe put some speakers in. You do get some natural light from the smaller windows. Hey, look, we all want a man cave, but we want those kids to play a little bit too, right? So it's a good spot for it. If you're anything like me, you make it work for both situations. A little bit of a man cave, a little bit of a playroom, so that everybody's happy. And, you know, maybe get them out of mom's hair, you know? It doesn't hurt too. You may be wondering, okay, house looks cool, but is there any storage? Well, let's go take a look. We do have storage, guys. There's some right here under the stairwell. There's the storage that you got, but that's not all. If that was all the storage, this house wouldn't work. You'd have to have a complete, you know, exterior garage to store all your stuff, right? Especially if you're anything like me and you have a growing family, you're going to need a lot of space to store maybe all the holiday decorations, all the stuff that's outgrown, but in between that you don't want to get rid of. I mean, that's the story of my life. We're going to come back here and you're going to see exactly what I mean. So not only do we have the 2-car garage, we do have some backdoor storage. So look, there's tons of storage back here. You know, this is where all your mechanicals are, your sprinkler system, because it is a newer build. All newer builds here in the state of Maryland require a sprinkler system be put in. So you will have a huge water tank to do that. That's right behind the camera. But there's a full window in here, which is a little interesting. But it gives you the ability to, you know, if you need to have stuff that you can't get in that way, you can open up the window and get it through the window. I think that's pretty nice, okay? And then on the back side here, you have even more storage. That's where some of your, you know, like your well tank, because we're on well and septic up here, and as you know, as well as your hot water heater. So let's take a look at the garage, and then we'll wrap it up. Now, I used to live in the city, and parking and that kind of thing was always a nightmare, right? So if you live in the city, whether it be in Fells Point, Canton, Federal Hill, Baltimore Peninsula, Locust Point, and you want a garage, you want parking, and you want to move out of the city and into the burbs, then this is something that you're going to absolutely love. There's a full 2-car garage here, plenty of storage wall to wall, rooms for trash cans, room for bikes, gardening equipment, tractor, whatever you need, there's plenty of room here in the garage. What sets this up a little bit different than maybe some more traditional homes, the garage is connected to the basement as opposed to maybe on the main level. So if that's something that's concerned you, then this home may not be a fit for you, or this kind of home may not be a fit for you. But there's plenty out there that have the same kind of setup with the garage on the main level. Now for the question of the day. For those of you looking to move within the state of Maryland, you're already here, you want to move to a different part. What part do you want to move to? Do you want to move from the city, out of the city, from Baltimore County to Anne Arundel County, Annapolis to Frederick? Let me know in the comments. I'm extremely interested. Get an understanding of where people are moving within the state. Even better, give me a call, shoot me a text. All my information is right on the screen here. Looking forward to hearing from you. There you have it, an off-market property in Northern Baltimore County. And you're never gonna find something like this. Well, you may, but if you want first dibs at something like this, that's never gonna hit the market and most likely be sold to somebody without going on to the internet, then comment off market and I'll be sure to get you on our VIP list so that you get access to homes just like this. Whether you're moving out of the count or whether you're moving out of the city and want to move into the suburbs, or whether you're moving suburb to suburb, or whether you're coming from out of state into the state of Maryland, or frankly, also leaving the state of Maryland, be sure to give us a call, shoot us a text, and we'll get you set up on the pathway to finding the home that you really want. For Kelly Schuett, I'm Mike Mislinski. Be sure to subscribe below, hit that notification bell, and we will catch you on the next video.